4th?
I went bike racing.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
brag about it.
Or actually, no. The day before, I did something I've never done before. I went to a movie by myself, so that was cool.
You've never done that before?
Mm.
Oh
Done
my
that a few
goodness.
times. What'd you see?
Good time. I went and saw Across the Spider-Verse at like 10:30 at night at Studio
Banger.
Movie Grill.
Banger.
Ate a pretty good flatbread pizza. Might have got a little emotional in the first like minute of that movie. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Very amazing. Joe, you haven't seen it yet, have you? Have you seen it?
No, I have. I went and
Okay.
saw it.
Okay,
I went and saw it on Father's Day
Oh,
There you
nice.
by myself.
Oh.
Hey, me, I get it.
We did Father's Day the day before,
I'm a big movie goer aloner.
Mhm.
I've done it many times.
I always say, like, I had someone asking about it over the weekend. Like, oh, what's like, oh, I'm so socially awkward, blah, 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 blah. And like, I'm a very socially awkward person out in public, like, ooh, all these things.
Right.
And going to the movies by yourself, like, yeah, you don't like talk to a lot of people, but I think a lot of it is just doing something by yourself that people typically associate with doing with like at least one other person.
Yeah.
Right, because when you think about going to the movies, you think about like, oh, you're going on a date, or you're going with your family, or like, or with friends, right? You don't.
Yeah, that was the thing I was thinking about. Is I was like, why is that considered a group activity? Because you go together, and then you sit in silence for 2 hours and don't talk to each other.
Yeah, I agree. I've going to the movies like there's some things that like doing alone people might think is like kind of weird or boring, and like to an extent I agree. Like going out to eat and like sitting down by yourself, maybe that's a little weird unless you're going to like a bar. But going to a movie alone rocks.
Yeah.
You can get whatever candy you want, you get whatever drink. You have to wait on anybody. It's pretty good. Obviously, there's pros to going with people as well because it's probably someone that you like a lot and it's probably fun. But going to the movies alone, it's a rock star move. If you have to go to the movies alone and you think, oh, this is the worst thing ever, don't think that because you'd be wrong.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Hell yeah.
What's your okay?
Go ahead.
Do you actually buy the candy at the movie theater?
If I forget, like if I forget, or like if it's like summertime, like it's summertime in Florida, I'm not like what am I? Where am I hiding it? You know what I mean? Like where am I hiding candy?
Dude, if the people at the movie theater really care that much, like you wear your baggiest basketball shorts with deep pockets, and that candy can just be swinging around. They don't care. If they care, they're.
But there's also candy at movie theaters that sometimes I can't get anywhere else that I really want, and that's the main thing.
Like what? Snow caps?
Yes.
That's like the only. Okay, that's the only one I can think of.
Snow caps.
Yeah, they're good.
I love snow caps.
They're good.
And every once in a while, like I really do enjoy just like getting popcorn, like being a.
Well, popcorn's
I know it's
different.
I know it's expensive, but like I like sometimes getting a like popcorn and like an icy or a slush. Which one is it that I?
It's an icy.
Yeah, sorry,
You're
I didn't mean to offend you, Joe.
No, it's slushy.
You can't
getting
the frozen. Yeah, exactly.
That one makes me sick.
Yeah.
Literally, like literally.
This is some Joe lore that I don't know about.
Whatever. Yeah. Movies are cool.
Yeah, I had a good time. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I did the 3rd of July, and then on the 4th of July, me and my whole family rode our bikes in the parade through Roseville, and like our BMX track had like an entire. Instead of a float, we just had like 100 loose children on BMX bikes, like running around the streets of Roseville. So yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was fun. And then spent all weekend in Reno racing. So,
which you can check out if you search Blackjack Nationals on YouTube. Yeah,
just go to the USA BMX YouTube channel and go to their previous live streams, and you'll see me in the 26 to 35 intermediate class. I got some hardware, finished 5th on Friday, crashed. Saturday, which this was the frustrating thing. So if I missed the crash, I probably got a podium because I was faster than the guy who finished 3rd, and I didn't, and so I finished 5th, but I got this pretty cool 3D plaque. And then Saturday, had an 8-person full rack, got 4th place, got a pretty cool trophy, barely missed a podium in a photo finish. And then I was really determined to get a podium on the last day, and unfortunately, I just didn't get a good enough start. But I did get a pretty cool main event qualifier plaque for that too. And yeah, I had never made the main event at a national before then, and I made it all 3 days, so I was pretty happy about that. So it was a good time.
Congratulations.
That's awesome,
And then
man.
big shout out to my nephew who got a podium on Saturday. So, and my
Shout
brother
out.
who had like 25 people in his class and rode his ass off and barely missed his main all 3 days. So
Mm.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
it's a good time.
I love when you like. I love when there is a big field for a big event like that. I love getting in the mix. It's so much
Oh
fun.
yeah, my teammate Chris, who won all 3 days, I was talking to him. He's like, I'm just not pumped about us having like a full gate. You know, I don't want to have to deal with 8 people. I'm like, dude, you're like, you saw how far out ahead he was in all of our races.
Yeah,
He's like, you got
yeah.
nothing to worry about. I was like, I'm back here in the 8-person group, and I'm still having fun. Like, it's chaotic. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Every time
So-
we ever ran a national, we had big fields or a big count. Like one year, we had 30 show up for nationals in the cart, and that was just such a blast. Like,
Yeah.
like we qualified really well the first day, but even qualifying, I think we qualified like 11th or something the second day. It's like 11th out of 30 people, like 30 of the best. It's awesome. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah. So it was a good time. What'd you guys do?
Davey.
I went to the beach.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Went to the beach with homegirl.
Let's go.
Yeah. She listens to this and she'll love that
Was
I
okay.
called her homegirl.
Was she the one that was like, "Who's Dewey?"
Yes.
We had a little intern
Yes.
for folks behind the scenes, and
Yes.
again, Dewey doesn't watch, so makes it even better.
Yeah, we did.
Nope.
because
we
he
did
never
confirm
got
that
back
this
to me
week.
last week.
We did
Yeah.
confirm. We confirmed
we
that
con-
Dewey does not watch.
We confirmed. So
Unbelievable.
when I ask him, he's not broadcasting the next couple of weeks because he's at SRX the next 2 weeks.
That's cool though.
Not for us, of course. 'Cause
Right.
anyways,
Damn.
it's a little
Okay.
contention there.
Moving on.
Where was I going? Oh yeah, we were there's Dewey lore now, so that's cool.
Dewey lore.
There's Dewey
Dewey
lore.
lore.
I was losing my mind when I saw
Yeah.
that.
Well, when she asked me, I just started laughing, and I don't think I said any actual words for a while because
That
I
sounds
was
correct.
just laughing.
That sounds yeah.
Because, like, number one, what a funny question, and then number two, how do I even answer that? Like,
One of my longtime
Oh my
friends
God.
who's in the USRL server doesn't believe that Dewey is a real person. I was like, I've met him in the flesh. I'm pretty sure he's real.
We need to get
can't
Dewey
believe
on here.
I can't
we do.
believe I.
But yeah,
met
when are we
that
gonna get a
man.
guest on the show?
I'm down for a Dewey appearance.
I
I'm
think-
down.
He would actually rock.
We need
too.
like
He
a
would-
Dewey segment the next 2 weeks for SRX. Like, we got Dewey here. Just
I'm
have
down for that.
See if he'll film a video after the race for like 3 minutes in his car. This is Dewey Schramm reporting from.
I have his
Stafford.
address. I should send him a bunch of Fake Racers podcast stickers.
You should.
You should. Tell him to go
Maybe-
sticker blast the place.
I've been staying late after work a lot. One of these times after work, I'm just gonna stay like for my own pleasure. I need to just print a bunch of Fake Racers podcast stickers out because we were talking before the show a little bit of peek behind a little bit of sausage talk here about how the sausage is made. We were talking about doing some little like bumpers and commercials and stuff for the podcast to play on JTN broadcasts. Sorry, and I would love. I think like I had like an idea while we were talking about that where like it's like kind of like an Adult Swim-esque sort of like little bumper or commercial where it's just like the logo and like a random like at a racetrack and it's just a still shot of it with people walking around. Like I'd love to go to Daytona and like the
that'd
middle
be
of the
cool.
midway, like well, there's a bunch of
Oh, and
people and
put,
just
like,
have like on a bench the Baker's Podcast logo and just like the camera just like focus on that for like 30 seconds. I feel like that'd be dope as
Oh.
hell.
Do it.
I just remembered. Next time there is a side hack race coming up in a couple weeks again, and I have a JTN sticker on the fender of the side hack.
Yo.
I'm gonna
There
have
it
to
is.
I'll have to film something like that.
There it
Just, like,
is.
Fender,
Like
people
a-
walking around the track.
A bunch of those at even that like that, a bunch of those at like various tracks would
Yeah.
be so awesome. I'll have
gotta
to do
put
it
one
when we
on
go
my
to
race bike.
Darlington. I gotta do it. I gotta go to Daytona now, I guess. So I can do it there. That's just such a cool idea. I'm like actually kind of pumped about that. That's dope.
Do it. I don't know
I'm
how
going
much
to.
I can subsidize it, but do it.
Yeah, let me see if I have any stickers.
What do you mean subsidized? What does that mean?
Like,
It's just gonna be a
fund it.
video.
I don't
No,
know.
I don't care.
Enjoy
I work at a vinyl shop, but I can get the cheapest vinyl that I can find that we don't use. I can get scrap vinyl and scrap laminate, and then print a bunch. Like, it's
I think
fine.
this is the only JTN sticker I haven't used so far.
That's
Well, that's
me.
perfect. That's
That's
Davey's
me.
sticker. Remember, we got Davey Hazard merch on the JTN merch store. You can go
Yeah, I think I have
Check it
one of the
out.
Giant
got Matthew Steelman merch too.
I think
We
I
do
have
have
one of the
Matthew
giant
Steelman merch.
FRP stickers, but it's too big to fit on anything that I own.
Yeah, that sticker was
quite big.
comically large.
Yeah.
It's quite big.
Like I remember I put it on there and I'm like, I don't measure things because I'm an engineer. You just do it again, right?
I still have a JTN sticker on my. Oh god, there's my.
Oh look,
stuff
that's
again.
Oh, nice.
JTN,
That was-
the old PTR logo.
that was the first JTN Christmas card,
Yeah.
and then we added we doubled our staff, and I was like,
No
oh,
more.
crap, can't do
I'll
that.
just get this idiot a mug. JK, it's a cup.
I don't even think that was a Christmas
Oh.
gift. I think that was just
I just-
hey,
I just realized my camera
Whatever.
slid over slightly, so you can't see the JTN mug on my dresser.
that's okay. They're in
JTN cups out in the living
Still
room on
there.
display.
because yours ain't a mug, is it? It's a cup.
Oh, it's a cup. No such thing as a mug around here.
Crazy thing
Only
is
mug is the one I got on my neck.
we're doing all this talking and
Yeah, races happened.
races did happen. And also real quick, last week was the most watched Fake Racers podcast episode ever. I have a theory of why that is. I think it's just because we did our best job ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
only reason, right? Nothing
Obviously.
big happened last week out of the ordinary, and we didn't.
Nope, something big did happen.
Oh.
You want to know what it was?
What was it?
Ryan Priest finished inside the top 20. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh, congratulations!
All the
probably got
heads were tuning in. Yeah.
mhm.
Only for him to get dumped Bubba yesterday in the race.
Yeah, Ryan Priest did. Ryan Priest.
Ryan
did
Priest
that.
did
was
that,
his
not Ricky
fault.
Stenhouse.
Nope.
Ryan Priest did.
Correct. I got kicked out.
That was
of,
wild.
I got
that
kicked
was
out of a
wild.
Discord channel in the middle of it because everyone thought Ryan Priest did it, and I didn't even get to see the replay because of it. So Darren Ingram, I know you're not listening. I'm not gonna say what I want to say because I don't need Joe to censor anything. I'm gonna be nice, but
Thanks, David.
bad words, bad words, bad words. Yourself, you bad
Wow.
word, bad word, bad word, piece of bad word, bad word. I hate you, bad word.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Anyways, folks, it's Fake Racers Podcast. I'm Joe. That was Davey. Matthew,
That was me.
down below. If you're watching, I guess if you're listening, we're just a bunch of voices in a void. But hey, NASCAR Cup Series was at Atlanta. It was probably the best Atlanta Super Speedway race. We already had this discussion in the spring. We're not going to have the discussion again about how this track is better than everyone says it is.
Just
And
remake
how it
use
keeps-
the same thumbnail.
On
Use the same.
It was a good
just-
thumbnail.
it was a banger.
But William Byron wins. His
Yeah,
for the fourth time
Let's
this
skip
year.
that. Let's skip that part. No one cares.
Before I forget, can we please make the thumbnail a microwave with like a screenshot inside of the track inside it? So there's just like William Byron's in the microwave.
we can. We
You
can
know
do
who
that.
this is directed towards. I know you're listening to this.
We can do that, and then we can do that on one side. On the other side, I want to see if we can find any pictures of anyone slow cooking some crow. Just slow cooking some crow, getting ready to eat it.
Why don't we just put the crow in the microwave?
That's a freaking great idea. Wait a minute, Joe. You are combining the best of both worlds.
This is why I'm in charge.
That's correct. I have no complaints. I'm perfectly fine with this. This is great.
But yeah, William Byron won the race. Was a lap down at one point because he spun out because he doesn't, have any talent. He just drives really good race cars. That's a lie. William Byron is a very good race car driver. It just took him a little while to mature, which
Joe
should have been
has
expected.
Fishing these last few weeks with all this bait. Oh my god.
God.
What did you want to say?
You know,
Something,
like-
Matt? Did you want to
You
say
know how
something?
I just thought it was fun.
before a Sirius XM radio thing, it's like all of that person, all the host hot takes. It's just Joe. William Byron doesn't have any talent. Wow. William Byron and
What was the
Eric
one a
Jones is the
couple
best
weeks-
driver in the Cup Series. Wow, wow, wow. You know what I mean?
What was the one? What was the one that I got you? Oh, it was at Atlanta. It was the Daniel Hemrick Parker Klingerman thing. Where I was like, it was Parker's fault.
There was you
Well,
were
'cause-
trying to bait him with something about Ryan Preece a couple weeks ago too.
Yeah, it
I was like,
doesn't
what
work
the hell?
anymore.
That one he knew.
It doesn't work anymore. Ryan
Yeah.
Preece is the best performing Sore Haas driver other than Kevin Harvick, and that's fine with me. So you can say whatever you want. You can go sit on one. I don't care.
Anyways, William Byron won. Good for him, I guess. Good for Hendrick.
Isn't he's leading the points now?
He's
right?
leading the
Even
points
with the
now, too.
penalties? That's nuts, man.
He's like very
Did he get a
quietly-
penalty? I thought it was the 48
So
and the.
I thought
I
he got a penalty that was rescinded, and then he got another.
Well, they all got the louver penalty, but then the week after, then there were only 2 cars got penalties. I think the 9 and the 48 got penalties.
can't remember, man.
Or the 5 and the 48. I don't remember who got. It was Richmond though. I remember that.
Yeah.
They got like 75-point penalties, and NASCAR was
No,
like,
it was 24 and 48.
oh, it
after
was.
Richmond.
Wow. This season is crazy, folks.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a wee bit. Yeah, it was 24 and 48.
Yeah. Yeah, because Bowman's
Which is
like on the
just
cut
crazy.
line area too, despite missing races on top of the point penalty.
I think
Yeah,
he's like 20th in points now because the
But
last
he's-
like 5 races have been just straight butt.
He's still within distance though.
Yeah, he's still in
Yeah.
it, but it's not looking good right now.
No.
Yeah, I do think he's good enough to make up the deficit, and then probably not have to worry too much about it on points. But
Yeah, they just got
he doesn't want
finish
to
a
be where he
goddamn
is.
race.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he's 22nd in points right now.
Ooh.
Honestly,
Yeah,
that
he was 16th a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
God,
He was
Yeah,
16th when he came back.
Yeah.
God, dude, what a weird. See, this last race, this Atlanta race had a huge impact on just the points
It
Oh,
did
yeah.
picture in general.
because who's in now? McDowell's in right now on points.
And
And
I
Suarez?
think AJ Allmendinger like halved his deficit to the bubble.
Yeah, so right now, because nobody outside the top 16 has won, so Stenhouse has a win, that's right. So Suarez and McDowell are tied. They're both on 407. Bubba's 3 points back. AJ is now only 13 points back.
Oof.
And then Ty Gibbs is 26 back. And then Cindric, Haley, and Bowman are all really close. They're all separated by 6 points, but they're all getting into must-win territory now.
And Justin Haley got a big points penalty earlier this year too.
That's right.
oh, I forgot about
I
that.
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Because NASCAR didn't rescind his penalty, right? Like
Did it get? I think it got reduced.
it got reduced.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot
Yeah,
about
so-
that. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. So it was 70. So they got 25 of the 100 points back.
So
Which yeah, that's crazy to think. If he'd had that penalty fully rescinded, he'd be right in the mix.
we did a lot of talking last year about how crazy it was because we had so many winners. This year has almost been more unpredictable. And I think it's shown by how close the bubble on the points is. Right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And there's still dry. Obviously, I feel like, Harvick can probably win a race here. Probably will.
Yeah. What do we think about Chase Elliott?
It's not looking good right now.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
Every week the situation gets a little bit worse.
He is currently 23rd. He's right behind Bowman, but he's about 15 points back of him. So
And I would go out on a limb and say that, like, he's running out of time to catch up and get into the picture on points. And I don't think he's shown me this year at all that he can win a race. Obviously, it's the 9 team and it's Hendrick and they can win anywhere, but like that team specifically, I don't see it.
yeah,
I'm not convinced.
I've honestly like Chase Elliott's just been kind of like anonymous this year. I kind of keep forgetting that he's around.
Yikes.
Not looking good for the 9 team, in my opinion.
No.
I think it's. I think probably like 2 or 3 races ago, they probably were starting to hit the panic button because
Well, they've
not
been
getting
making
better.
up points at a pretty good rate, and then this week it feels like they hit a brick wall. And I don't know if that's just because it was, and like they weren't great last week at the street course. I mean, for Christ's sake, he wrecked the car in practice or qualifying or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think that's a big like surprise about that is like Chase Elliott was not a factor on one of the road courses, which is
like he finished top 5, but we all know that he was not running top 5 all day.
Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't have finished without the way things kind of shook out in that race.
I really think that man, I had a whole thing with Chase Elliott that I totally forgot. I've just blanked 100%.
He's not in it. His heart isn't in racing.
No, that's not it. That's a funny one.
To
though.
the X Games 2024.
That's a funny one. But sorry, to your point about him like starting to hitting a brick wall this week, that's gonna happen. Like as you start to kind of, it's no different than how racing at the front of the field in a lot of top tier series is usually more boring, is because everyone's harder to pass. Everyone's faster. He's starting to like kind of work his way through the guys who are in the 20th in points, and he's getting up to the guys that are in the teens. It's going to be harder to make up that ground. They're not going to make as many mistakes. You're not going to make up as much points. You can't finish ahead of them by 20, 30 points a race because they're not finishing there every week.
Well, and really right now it feels like there's only two. If we stay, we don't have any new winners that are below the cut line. It really only feels like there's 2 spots on points then. Because I think Keselowski and Buescher are both almost 100 up over the cutoff.
Yeah. And Harvick's a further 30 ahead of both of them, yeah.
Yeah. So, feels like you're kind of moving in, okay, there's 2 spots. And we kind of had this scenario last year. Okay, there's 2 spots. And then Austin Dillon was like, hey, I'm just going to win. Thanks, Daytona. And like going into Daytona, say both the 9 and the 48 aren't in the playoffs, what does that dynamic at Hendrick look like? Because you have to think the 24 and the 5, unless they're battling for the regular season championship, which I don't know. They're going to be told, hey, you need to push your guys.
Yeah, Larson's 90 points back at this point, too, also, of Byron. So
it
might not even be a thing.
Like it.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I'm just thinking about it. Same thing with like Gibbs his whole team's in the playoffs right now. Yeah. Do they try to push him? Like, we haven't had a scenario, it feels like, with Daytona as the last race where we have like these mega teams or these super teams without a guy in. Like, yeah, Truex last year didn't end up making the playoffs, but for most of the day, he was in on points.
Yeah.
And there were those multiple spots open on point. I don't know. Obviously, it's Daytona, anything can happen, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I think for Gibbs and even to an extent Cindric, I think it's not like smashing the panic button if they miss the playoffs, because Cindric's year 2, Gibbs is a rookie. Like Cindric a little bit more, obviously, but it was like what you're saying, Davey, about the hitting the wall up front. That's what's made the last like 5 races so disastrous for Bowman and crews, because they're finishing like 25th every week, and it's really hard to make up points, but it is so easy to lose them, especially when you're in their position and like they are free falling. 100%. I think the other guy, though, that has a ton of pressure to make the playoffs this year is Bubba Wallace, though. They have to make it. Like, you can't go 3 years at 23-11 and not make the playoffs at this point.
And we're coming up on a good stretch for him, right? Pocono has been a good track. Michigan.
He's right in the mix, too. He's 3 points out right now. But it's, they had a spin late in Atlanta, obviously, and like that is the thing you cannot have happen right now when you're in their spot.
Yeah, I don't remember how they ran at New Hampshire last year. I don't think they were the greatest at Richmond in the spring. They had some pace, but not great pace. I feel like Pocono's a good track for him. Michigan, he was on the pole last year. He probably had the fastest car. I think they just kind of let the race get away from them.
Yeah,
which happens a lot with that team. I don't know what it is that holds them back. I don't know what the mistakes always are, because it's not like they're not like they are fast,
and they put races together too, which is the weird thing, right? Like a lot of the talk with like Blaney for a long time, and probably still now will be, because we talked about it after the 600. Hey, maybe this is that dominant win that we have been saying he needs to have. We know they can do it, and they've done it, but they can't like replicate it.
I
Yeah.
wonder if, because for a lot of it, it just seems like really simple mistakes on pit road or strategy issues or whatever it is. I mean, they wrecked at Atlanta because they pitted for 4 tires for seemingly no reason to put themselves in the back of the pack.
Mhm.
I wonder
Oof.
if it's, and when I say this, I'm not saying anything about how the team is run, but if it's a culture thing, because if you think about Penske to be specific, it's Roger Penske has an extreme attention to detail, right? Like they were the first race team to have everybody be clean cut and wear matching uniforms. All of his drivers have the same haircut and everything, and they are extremely meticulous to every single detail, and it shows because when was like how often do you see outside of Blaney Penske crews screwing things up, you know? Like the 12 or not the 12, sorry, the 2 and the 22 historically have been like extremely well-oiled machines. And I wonder for 2311, Denny Hamlin, obviously, as a driver owner, is only going to be able to focus so much on some things. And I wonder how, I don't want to say checked out, but like, how involved is Michael Jordan as an owner? You know, it seems like you have 2 team owners who aren't 100% team owners. And so maybe they don't have this full, like, attention to detail to everything.
Yeah, but do you really need that if you have the right people in place at the top?
You think so, but I mean, clearly it's a thing that you see a lot. I mean, teams like Penske and Hendrick, they have equipment, but they also have the right people who know how to do the right things in the right places.
Right.
And it's the example I like to use a lot is Haas before Tony Stewart bought in. They had all of the money and all of the equipment, but they didn't have the right people until Tony Stewart showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran like garbage with brand new Hendrick equipment for years. So I just wonder if that's a kind of trickle down effect from having 2 team owners who are preoccupied with other things too. I don't know, because it just seems like they make a lot of mistakes that they shouldn't be. So
yeah,
I get it. I see that from a little bit. I do think that it's maybe less of that, considering like Tyler Reddick's got to win this year. I know he's not really been all that much better than Bubba in the grand scheme of things, but like, I mean, we're looking at a 23 team that can win a race. Like, there's like they are. God, that team's a weird. That team's like just a weird enigma.
they just don't execute. It's weird. They
Because
just make mistakes at the worst possible times. It always seems.
And they're fast. I mean, they are fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hitting a stretch. I just looked. We're hitting a stretch coming up where like the 23 car finished top 10 4 of the next however many races to Daytona. Daytona, they were probably fast, and there's that huge rain wreck. Richmond, they ran 13th. Watkins Glen, it's Bubba Wallace.
he ran well at Indy though last year, I believe.
He ran fifth. Ran fifth. I think road course speed's coming. I mean, we're like you said, we're coming up to a stretch of the season that's really good for him. But they need to start capitalizing. They have to.
Yeah.
It's now or never. I think if we come through next weekend and they lay down a wet fart of a finish, you don't have any momentum. There's no confidence. But Wallace is a confidence driver. It's going to be really tough for them to make it back through there.
Yeah, and they should be outrunning, especially McDowell. But I mean, I would say that Bubba's a better driver than Daniel Suarez, and I feel like they're on similar levels, resource wise. So, like, it's all lined up that like they can get it done. They just have to do it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They can't keep getting in their own way.
They have to do it, right? Like, and it's not make or break for his career or anything, but I feel like seeing the pressure that he puts on himself, which I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize that in these moments, and know why. Seeing that pressure that he puts on himself, I think for himself, they need to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because look at how well they ran last year when they were running for an owner's title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, won at Kansas, got to that next round. Obviously, Vegas was not a good look.
No.
But they have to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
which is crazy because again, this field is closer than it ever has been. But
Yeah, the bubble this year is going to be pretty intense. I feel like.
I feel like
'Cause
we've struck a good balance of like competitive cars too. Finally,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
like
The like unbridled chaos that was last year, where it seemed like any one of 30 cars could win on any single week.
we're like
seems to
25
definitely have
now.
died down. Yeah.
Like 25 is a good number.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about legacy. Eric Jones was a menace this last weekend.
Oh, I forgot to. Oh, actually, I was gonna make a sound drop for the Legacy Motor Club Disaster Class of the Week, and I forgot to.
Well, it was Eric Jones, like, I don't know,
Yep.
involved in like 3 different incidents. Which the Kyle Larson one was not his fault. Corey LaJoy won 75-25. You know, I think Eric hit the wall coming off turn 2, blocking Ty Gibbs, which was
Can't do
amazing, and I
that.
loved it.
you can't do that, man.
And also, yeah, he was quickest today at practice at Slinger. So just saying. Obviously, he's not a terrible race car driver. For anyone that wants to say that, Davey. Yeah.
Didn't show a lot of proof otherwise, but. There's also Eric Jones also had that whole incident in Chicago.
That was wild.
Why am I forgetting
Listen,
what that was?
listen, he got top 10 at Nashville. He was doing so good
He's
for the
like
NBC coverage.
Lap 1, my man goes
Oh, that one. Okay.
yard
Yeah,
into
yeah.
turn 6, man. Like yard sailed.
He
it
was
big time.
hydroplaning, man. He was
that one.
hydroplaning.
Joe,
Should've
you're
been in
trying
the
to tell me
puddles.
that he didn't miss his braking zone. He did for where he was. Should have broke a little earlier, Bubba. Jeez.
But yeah, I feel like like obviously the legacy cars, they have not been competitive. The 14 and the 10, they've been out to lunch, it feels like, all year. Even this week, they both qualified inside the top 5, and then once Almirola lost the lead, I don't think we ever heard from him again. You know, the Spire cars, Corey LaJoy had decent speed, but I don't think we ever thought he had race-winning speed.
Oh wait, I forgot Chase Briscoe had that giant penalty. That's right.
The Rick Ware cars, obviously, are the Rick Ware cars. The 78 is
that-
just out there collecting a check, which is
Yeah, I was
fine.
about to be like, why is Chase Briscoe behind Harrison Burton on points? But I remember they had that
Oh,
massive. penalty.
Harrison Burton
Yeah.
is still trying to figure it out.
Oh,
I,
man.
Poor
Uh,
kid.
I wanted I wanted him to succeed so bad, and it's just not going to happen.
He's got to go back to Xfinity, man.
Yeah, he's not ready.
Agreed. Gotta go back to Xfinity.
I don't know where he goes, but he's got to go back.
Mhm.
I don't know where you're going, but it ain't here.
Nah, it ain't working.
I don't know who they'd put in that car, though, because they need some kind of funding for it. So
Who would they put in the 21 car? That's a great question.
Considering he's
Brandon
probably gonna be out of a ride,
Jones.
I was. Oh God. Please no.
Parker Kligerman.
I mean, if you
yeah,
want
he
your
does
car
not have
wrecked every
funding,
week, you
Davey.
put
Sorry.
I know.
I
know.
Todd Gilliland seems like a good choice. Maybe Zane Smith. I don't know.
Todd, I could potentially
Zane.
see.
Zane's crazy though,
Oh,
because Zane's got
no.
that massive contract with Front Row that would
Yeah, I
cost
was
a
gonna say
lot of
Front
money
Row's-
to get out of.
Front row's not letting him go. That's right. Yeah.
They might have to, because I'm sure he's got a buyout in the clause in the contract, but someone's gonna have to pony up money for that, and I don't really see any.
I think Front Row sees like Michael McDowell and Zane Smith as like their 2 guys, and they're gonna build around them and try to become a front runner. But
I don't.
yeah,
Poor Todd.
yeah,
Mm.
Back to trucks.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Haley Deegan to the 21 next year. Do we want to get that rumor started for no reason?
Oh God. No.
I don't know what she's doing in trucks, but she's with ThorSport. Did we have that conversation where, like, if you're
Yeah.
in ThorSport, you're like eternally in hell?
Yeah,
in the truck
ThorSport-
series.
Yeah, I was saying the truck
Yeah.
series is a black hole, and then ThorSport is the black hole of the black hole.
Yep.
Ben Rose just chilling down there at the best
Yep.
championship interview since Brad Keselowski.
Haley Deegan.
Ben
26th
Rose
at
is
Anaheim.
only ever going to drive a truck for the rest of his life.
Yeah, they haven't changed his number in a while. They need to get on that. Remember when they were changing his number like every year?
Remember how Ty
What?
Majeski was the 66
What?
last year, and then they're like, nah,
What?
you're in the 98 now.
Why is ThorSport allergic to just keeping drivers in the same number? Like when they just
I mean,
randomly
Matt
changed...
Crafton's been in the 88 forever.
Why is
but they,
ThorSport like that?
yeah, they just like randomly changed
Why are you like
Johnny
that?
Sauter to drive the 98 for a few years, and they're like, I get back in the 13, you're good. It's so weird.
I don't want to I don't want to know what goes on in like the office cubicles at ThorSport. Like it's
So-
just like chaos. There's
I
just
ima-
probably music playing 24/7. No.
The Thor
pisses
Sport
me
hate
off.
is warranted too. You want to know why?
Why?
They're based in Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh, God damn it. This pisses me off so much because if you go onto their Wikipedia page, it has the history for every single like truck number they've run. And there's 8, 13, 22, 27, 66, 87, 88, 89, 98, 99. Just pick a number! What? God, I'm so mad. I
Folks, this
imagine
is the
ThorSport-
conversations you tune in for on the Fake Racers
ThorSport's
podcast.
probably just like an empty warehouse, and it's just like whoever can get a tool first gets to use it. Like it's just like the Hunger Games. just absolute free for all.
I mean, don't forget Ty Majeski's like a mechanic there too during
Yeah.
the week, like
They all
an
hate each other.
engineer.
Matt
They do all
Crafton
hate
has-
each other, don't they?
Matt Crafton has built himself a little fort in the corner, and
He probably.
nobody can get him out of
Well,
there.
that's why. Listen, dude probably spends more money at Menards than anyone else.
Yeah, I imagine Matt Crafton still has a ride because they can't find him to fire him. He's just
Where-
really good at hiding.
Hey, I'm trying to talk to him. You know where Matt is? Nah, man, I haven't seen him. When was the last time he was at the shop?
We've been trying to fire him for 7 years.
7 years ago.
So yeah,
Oh
that
my
was the Cup
God.
Series race. This has been a great episode. Honestly, these ones are the best ones because I have nothing to go off of for our show sheet. It's out the window. It was out the window 5 minutes in.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Do we want to talk about the Xfinity Series? I mean, Justin Haley's a hypocrite, I guess. We
Oh
can
my
talk
God.
about that.
Oh my God.
That was wild.
Oh my
Daniel.
God.
Okay, I didn't get to. I was at a wedding on Saturday, so I didn't get to watch the Trucks or Xfinity race. But seeing that, just seeing the snapshot of Daniel Hemrick looking so incredibly pissed off as Justin Haley's just sitting there smiling was crazy.
I loved it. Mostly because I haven't been about Daniel Hemrick since the last Atlanta race. Also, Justin Haley said he was running out of fuel, which is why he moved down the line. A lot of people were like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. You finished the race," and it's like, well, you can sputter on fuel and still have enough fuel to make it around a couple more times. Like, sputtering happens when you're low on fuel. Like a lot, like you sputter a lot before you are out of fuel, like out of gas completely. And plus, like if you're gonna make a move like that on your teammate, I feel like everyone's gonna say that, so you'd come up with something better than I was running out of fuel, even though you just finished the race. Like I feel like that's like not a lie, because
Yeah,
like
That's
that'd
pretty
be
bad.
a really bad lie. I don't know. Blown out of proportion. Whatever. That can't be worse than what happened in the ARCA race. So.
Yeah, that's true.
What
I don't
happened in the
know,
ARCA race?
Oh God.
Oh.
I'll get into that later.
Here, let's finish this one.
I think you can. I think Justin Haley can be telling the truth and also have just decided he didn't want to push Daniel Hemrick. Like I don't know if those are mutually exclusive. It was just like it wasn't like he sputtered and got out of line. It was he fully like got a run, got underneath Daniel Hemrick, and then side drafted him for like almost a half a lap. And it was like, what are you doing? And the most damning thing was like literally right before, like you said, Joe, like he was like, hey, make sure Chandler pushes me because a team win's important. And then he was like, oh shit, I'm running out of gas. Better side draft the hell out of my teammate and make sure neither of us can get a run on the leader. It's just weird. I don't get it. And it's like, I know it's easy picking to shit on Daniel Hemrick, and a lot of it is like justified, but it just goes back to, I was like, what does this guy have to do to buy a break? Because like we can all shit on him for like never being around or a contender at the finish of a race, and then when he is, nobody ever like it always goes wrong for him like that. I mean, this is twice now he's had like a golden opportunity to win in Atlanta and his teammate ruined it. It's so weird.
Davey does not care. Davey has no sympathy.
No. Good race though. I think Atlanta discussion has been done to death, but those Xfinity cars at this Atlanta have been fantastic. The Cup
Yeah.
race was also very good, but those Xfinity cars are so good there.
Hey, they got a handle on this track now. Both series, you have to have some handling, which is
Mhm.
good. So
I'm excited to see how the track ages further.
I'm excited to see if we get like a hot race in the spring next year. Like it's like 80 degrees or so, middle of the day, sun beating
They
down.
probably won't. They'll probably keep it at nighttime.
Well, no, the spring race.
I guess.
Because that one's a day
But
race.
Even then, it probably can't be as hot as it would be.
No, not like 90 to 100 degrees,
Yeah.
but that's just not safe for anybody, though.
No.
So I understand it.
Fair enough.
Truck Series was in Ohio, unfortunately.
Oh,
Corey
God.
Heim won for the second time this year.
Did anyone? Okay, hold on. Pause real quick. Did anyone watch this?
No, I was at the BMX track.
All
all
right,
day.
well, Corey Heim won. It was
Go ahead,
raining.
one. Started in the rain. No one could do it. Then it dried up and people could.
Nick
That's
Sanchez spun
mid
on a pace
Ohio.
lap.
Okay, what happened in the ARCA race?
I don't
'Cause
know.
apparently
the
people
whole
watched
entire...
that.
Well, I didn't watch it. It was just big enough news.
Wow, the ARCA race was bigger news than the truck race. That's
It really
amazing.
was.
I believe it.
Because something happened in the ARCA race. That's why.
I saw like teammates like taking each other off the racetrack. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to recap it or should I do it?
You probably have a better memory for the names than I do. I know the guy who did it. I don't remember the other driver.
It was Sean Hingorani, I think is how you pronounce his name. 16-year-old kid who drives for Venerini, and Dean Thompson, the most cursed race car driver of all time.
Yep.
And I don't know if there was something leading up to it, but Hingorani was just beating the hell out of the back of Dean Thompson's bumper. Keep in mind they're teammates. And then it's through the final two corners that like sweeping right-hander, he just like moves Dean Thompson out of the way and then tries to pass him on the outside of the next corner. And Dean Thompson's like, yeah, screw this, and just pushed him off the track because he was sick of him. And Hingorani spins, no caution. He's pissed. He says over the radio that he needs a caution, so he just who he just flat out dumped?
It was like Bill Shocked or something like that.
Oh yeah, it was like a longtime veteran. Just flat out dumps him after calling it on the radio. Still doesn't get a caution. So then he paces around at low speed for the next 5 laps until Dean Thompson, his teammate, catches him on the last lap, and then he just like body slams both of them off into the gravel and knocks Dean out of the race from second on the last lap. So
Meanwhile, on his radio, from what I heard on Hingorani's radio, apparently was his crew chief and his spotter and the team owner all begging him to not do what he's planning on doing, and he did it anyway.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy way to never get to race again.
Yep.
Yep.
He got a 1 race suspension.
Oh.
So
oh
yeah.
no.
Oh.
Ah!
Well, here's the thing. So the race he got suspended for is the East-West race, which has a bunch of bonus points.
Mhm.
And so it completely knocks him out of championship contention now.
Good.
So, yeah.
He should be.
It's one of those things where on one hand you can go, oh yeah, well this is what happens when you let 16-year-olds drive full-size race cars. And like
No.
But at the same time, there's plenty of like kids driving race cars who are totally fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
Like-
why I totally get why people don't give Carson Hocevar slack, and I totally agree he shouldn't get all of it all the time.
Hover car.
This kid absolutely should not, because if you're going to drive full-size race cars and you're going to be determined to be a professional, you need to act like one.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and you're driving in arguably the best team in ARCA. You have the greatest shot possible of moving up just by virtue of the equipment that you're sitting in. Why are you so willing to mess that up?
Yep.
Just bad decision making from race car drivers that do
Should've-
not deserve where they are.
Probably
Anyway,
should have done a little more iRacing, honestly.
real. Give me that seat.
SRX begins this week at Stafford. Thursday Night Thunder returns on ESPN. It starts at 9. Guess what else also starts at 9? JTN's coverage of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. So,
choose wisely.
whoops. Our numbers are about to be wonderful this week. But guess what? That's why you have a computer and probably a TV or a phone and a TV, and, put us on one of those.
I know what I'm tuning into, Joe.
Yeah? What are you tuning into, Davey?
JTN
At-
Bomb Racing Squad.
All right, here's your $1.
I'm getting paid. Nice.
This is year 3 of SRX. I think this is like a honestly, again, CBS is like a free over-the-air station for everybody, but it feels like going to ESPN is a jump up, right? Because you get more coverage with being on ESPN.
Yep.
Is that's boding well for the series? I think it bodes well for motorsports.
Oh my god, I didn't know Brad was running the full season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
they
made an effort this year to have SRX follow the NASCAR Cup Series. All the tracks are relatively close to where the Cup Series is that weekend, and that's why it's also on Thursday. So this week they're at Stafford, they're at Thunder Road next week, and Cup's at Pocono. The following week they're at South Boston, and Cup's at Richmond. The week after that they're at Berlin, and which is in Michigan, and the Cup's at Michigan. I think the following week they're at Eldora, maybe.
Yep.
And then Cup's at Indy. And then Cup's at Watkins Glen, and I forget where they are for the last week.
They are at Lucas Oil Speedway, which is in Missouri.
Okay, so that's the only one that's going to be like difficult, I guess. But
Pretty cool.
I'm excited.
SRX, baby.
So they end the year with their 2 dirt races?
Oh god, that's kind of lame.
Oh yeah, it is dirt. Oh yeah, they do.
Huh.
That's kind of lame.
These cars work so much better on the asphalt.
Yeah.
I remember, I think year 1 we talked, the dirt race was kind of cool, but it wasn't that great. Tony Stewart just won.
Yeah.
Good for Tony.
Yeah, I mean the cars are they're pretty good on asphalt too. Like I don't know, I feel like the dirt experiment should end at 1 race at most, really, with these cars. But oh well, that's Tony Stewart series. He do what he wants. So.
But I mean, adding Cup drivers, that's a good thing, right? Like we're for that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna help NASCAR, even though I don't think NASCAR wants the help.
What's the goal? Like, what's the goal of this? Like, what's going on?
I think it's just to have fun, honestly. At the end of the day,
I mean, is it really doing well enough? Is it profitable? I don't. Like, I feel like there's a lot of momentum was lost from the first season onto the next one, and the next season, the racing is still good. I enjoyed all the races. I think it's fun. I think having Paul Tracy around to be like the verbal punching bag was a rock solid idea, you know. I mean, it's all solid. It just feels. I don't know. It feels a little hollow, and I can't figure out why. And I don't like that because I love SRX and I want it to stick around.
Yeah.
But my confidence in it is weirdly low.
I think they're trying to position themselves as like a kind of IROC series, obviously, which is just kind of like a for fun thing, maybe just for bragging rights. I don't know. Because I wonder how much like the drivers are getting paid, or if they're getting paid at all.
Yeah. Because it's not a huge crew of people that work on these cars, I don't think.
Honestly, I think it's just for fun. They're trying to be some kind of hybrid between IROC and your like Legends series that you'd see racing at random short tracks everywhere, right? Like,
yeah.
Which, again, I love.
It can work. It can work.
In that is being broadcasted on ESPN, which is a big deal for a series that's just for sillies and giggles, you know what I mean?
I haven't seen that much promotion for it though, but I also haven't been watching a lot of ESPN. So
same, yeah.
I do worry about that they're just going to randomly be on TV on Thursday night and ESPN doesn't put any promotion into it. And guess what? Nowadays, if network doesn't put promotion into it, you don't get good TV numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, look at NASCAR Chicago. I know that race was crazy and it was cool and we're in Chicago, but the amount of promotion they put behind it was also huge.
Yeah.
So
fair.
More than how Atlanta did. They're going to be testing a new short track package next Monday, day after the race. I haven't really seen what they're changing. Just know that it's like a big swing. I think it's probably something with the underbody.
Isn't it? I thought it was the.
Is it the splitter?
I thought it was.
Because
Matt Weaver was talking about it. Hold on.
Yeah, Bell said in an interview what they were testing, and he said it was like a splitter that generates lift in clean air and downforce in dirty air.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me back to an idea I had for a while, and I'm pretty sure I'm sure there's an obvious reason why
Reverse
it won't
DRS.
work. Well, yeah. Well, why don't F1 teams? So the problem with F1 constantly, right, is dirty air and turbulent air. So why don't F1 teams just put another car in front of the one they're designing in the wind tunnel and then design it to be in turbulent air?
Matthew, buddy,
I'm just saying. Have they tried it?
pretty sure they have.
Well,
Pretty sure they
Yeah.
don't even have to put it in a wind tunnel to test that honestly anymore.
that's why I said I know this is an extremely stupid idea that won't work.
It's not a stupid
Oh,
idea.
God.
So if they're doing it, ain't stupid.
It's certainly an idea.
It's an idea.
It's one of the ideas of all time.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently NASCAR was like, wait, they might be onto something.
Hold on.
I wonder if it is something like that. Is that if your memory is correct? Is that
I believe
Down.
so.
okay? That's interesting.
Source is dude, trust me.
That's fine.
I know that was Christopher Bell said that. So
Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna find out a lot about it this weekend because I'm sure that's gonna be all the talk, not the actual race that goes on. Because I don't know. Also, guess what? If it rains in New Hampshire, guess what we can do?
Ayo,
We can
put
race.
tires on it. Let's go.
that's right.
Shout out to that
Damn
video
Skippy.
I made a couple years ago when it rained and tried to like be funny, and it actually kind of was cool. So people, if you like those videos, you should tell me to make more of them because guess what? I have time now, at least a little bit. There's Bristol. Look at him.
Hey.
I don't have any flags anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah, I'm moving in a couple weeks, so
Oh, nice.
wanted to. No, not nice. I don't want to move.
Oh.
I want to leave.
That's awesome, or I'm sorry that happened. I don't know.
Whichever one suits the purpose.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, testing new short track at New Hampshire. Because speaking of New Hampshire, don't read the next weekend preview line. But we're at New Hampshire this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
At Chicago, and by Chicago I mean New Hampshire. Obviously.
It says New Hampshire on the item lines.
Yeah.
Lordy.
Who you guys got this weekend? Xfinity first, and then Cup thereafter.
Hold on.
I'm gonna take Cole Custer in Xfinity,
Joey,
then I'm
you always
also-
rush me.
and then I'm gonna also take Cole Custer in the Cup Series. Because again, we
What
don't
in-
track these things.
Oh, that's
What
right.
on
he's
earth is
driving
wrong
the
with
car.
you?
Actually, I'm gonna take Ryan Newman in the Cup Series.
What is wrong with you?
Take Ryan Newman
God.
in his third start, I think. Yeah, third start because he was at Darlington.
Oh yeah.
He also did the
I'm
Open.
going to take Josh Berry.
Ooh, who you got in Cup then?
Mm.
That's a good question. Why am I pulling? I know the Cup field. Why am I pulling up the entry list?
Kyle Larson feels sneaky this week with how good he ran at North Wilkesboro.
Oh, that is a good pick. You know what? We were just talking about Chase Elliott. They got to win a race sooner or later. I'm not hoping for it, but I'm going to bank on it.
You're gonna, at least if he does win, you'll have something to celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hedging your happiness.
Exactly.
Riley Herbst is going to back his way into a win. He's going to finally have an answer to the age-old question, which track is your favorite? And he's going to be able to say New Hampshire.
Which one of your
from now
wins
on.
is your proudest?
The
If
one.
he's there and he wins the race, can I ask that question or would that be really rude?
Which one of your stage wins is your proudest? Because he
What's your-
finally won one.
What's your favorite stage win?
Oh, God. That's messed up, man. Definitely ask. Definitely ask.
Should I record it?
Definitely.
It's not like we
absolutely.
cyberbully him every single week.
Dude, if he ever listened to this podcast, he would cry. He
Again,
would
I'm sure
retire
he's a
and
great
cry.
dude. It was so weird hearing him have that answer to that question. It was like, oh my god, he doesn't know what else to say. Like,
Media training did not prepare him for this question.
which, listen, I would not do any better. Like,
Are you, what? Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
no.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna sit here and tell me that you're worse than the most generic race car driver answer of all time? What's next? What if you were in this position? Would you get a sit in your car for practice, take a picture from your point of view, say, "In the office this weekend"? I would smack the hell out of you. I'd
Man, I
beat
gotta
your
say,
ass.
when was the last time Riley Herbst posted a picture like that? I'm gonna find this out.
I'm about to take a picture of that and tweet it at Fake Racers tomorrow.
God. In the office this weekend.
In the office
Shut
this morning.
Up. Shut up.
Behind the wheel, my Dodge Avenger.
The thing is, if Riley Herbst did that, it would have been like an Instagram story or something. It wouldn't be. It probably wouldn't be a post. I don't even follow him on Twitter. Good lord.
Why would ya?
It's a good point.
I mean, he did. I will give him this. He ran a pretty sick Ken Block throwback.
He did.
Throwback earlier.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Coolest thing he's done.
Like immediately, but
coolest thing he's done. This man says that is crazy status.
But it's true.
I bet Chase Elliott said office in that context before.
Probably. And people probably went crazy over it too, Davey. Look, he's a little
there
relatable.
It is. There's one. There's two.
From Chase?
Yeah, there's at least two from Chase.
How old?
Oh, I just closed it, man.
That's okay. That's okay. It's not important.
It's 2018 and 2019.
Ah. Back, like what, at Daytona? Back in the office.
Excited to be back in my office for the next couple months.
No one's ever happy to be in the office. Shut up. You're not relatable.
Oh my god, dude.
If I was happy at work, I would work a day.
Okay, Joe.
That's Fake Racers podcast this week. Will it be as successful as last week? That's for you folks at home to tell us.
Well,
Yeah.
Ryan Priest didn't finish inside the top.
Do I just put Shane Van Gisbergen's name in the description?
Put it in the tags, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it.
Oh, hey, if you want to give me my picks, by the way, it's
Oh yeah, who's your cup pick?
Parker Kligerman and wait, who did I pick for Xfinity the first time?
Riley.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't get to finish. I forgot that I picked for Xfinity already. Eric Jones. He'll bulldoze his way to a top 5.
Hey, I'm here for it, man. I got the hat and everything.
You better hope it doesn't rain, because he's gonna
Dude, if it
clear
rains,
out half the field.
he ain't gonna know what to do.
He's gonna start going backwards.
Oh my god.
He's gonna be like, "Am I playing NASCAR 05?" No, but folks, again, can't thank you enough for watching, listening, whatever you do. If you like our show, we'd appreciate it if you shared it. Again, that's always a great way to help support us, is to share these things with folks. We don't share it enough with our folks because, well, actually, I don't want to speak for you guys. I don't share this stuff because, I feel like that's weird. But maybe I'll start sharing it. And then if I start sharing it, that means you should share it too, because if I think it's worth sharing, maybe you do too. You can follow at Fake Racers on Twitter. Don't think Davey jumped on the Threads train just yet.
Well, I have to make a whole new friggin' account. I can't do that from my phone. It doesn't let me.
Oh, that's right.
I can try again real quick.
Threads is not good.
I can't even get the website to load on a single device I own.
I like Threads. I mean, you have to have the app.
It's still confusing.
Web.
It's confusing. I need timelines.
It's not. Hey, look, there's timeline right there. I'm on it, scrolling around. It's really not that bad. Anyway, I think there are features that are missing, but it's not bad.
Davey, where can they follow you?
You can find me on Threads, D7H5. That's it.
Oh,
I'm not
just
giving anyone
Threads.
anything else?
Just Threads. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow at Johto Network on Threads too. Now, so you do that, or on Instagram, or on Twitter, or on YouTube,
Right.
or on Facebook, or on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
We're on all of them.
Right.
Can't tell you that we're posting constant content to them, but we're on them.
When are we gonna get a JTN Tumblr?
That if you want to make one, go for it. I don't care.
Is it just gonna be like JTN fanfics?
Yeah.
Just like writing smut about up in the booth,
Well, I did say we needed to do the NASCAR.
Why would you
fanfiction
have
table
to?
reading. So, I gotta go back on my NASCAR fanfiction search. We should make Dewey do a table read with us. That's what we should do.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, there's even a hashtag NASCAR fanfic on Tumblr. Oh baby.
We should if you guys do that though, don't tell him what it is.
Yes.
Don't
This
tell
was
him.
Yeah,
just
and because we
called
know he's
a
not
jealous
watching.
scare pairing Chase Elliott X reader. Warnings. Jealousy.
Warnings.
Okay, so who do we have Dewey read as for that one?
I might have to parse this out and assign us all parts for this. Oh,
Okay.
baby.
All right, that'll
Get
that'll
Tommy
be
in
an.
on it.
We gotta hit. Oh no! So it's Dewey, Tommy, and then Matt can be the narrator.
There's on
Dude.
fanfiction.net the first thing under NASCAR is what if Danica Patrick won the 2013 Daytona 500?
What, dude? What? Okay, what if, dude? What are you talking about?
Oh, this thing's only like a paragraph long. Damn it.
Oh my god.
You can follow Matthew at msteelman51.
I wouldn't recommend it, by the way.
It's a pretty good follow.
Nuts, man.
But again, folks, before we go over our time limit here tonight, which we've already gone over, cannot thank you enough for watching, listening, however you help support us here on the Fake Racers podcast. We appreciate you so much. We can't wait to see you on the next episode next week. Again, right here on youtube.com/@JTN2 or on your favorite podcast platform. Bye.
Bye.